Alright, so this was gonna happen. We're gonna do some things here. Alright. Now we just do that on top of the Kindred. Kindred dies. Big level ups. Big level ups, baby. Block that, get the life. Alright. This dude is something else. Let me tell you. Oh, let me tell you what. We're gonna summon that, leaving enough for this, in case we get hit by a big fucking thermo beam, which might happen. I think if he thermo beams and we deny it, I think he, oh, vengeance, that's fine too. I wish I had syncopation, that would be way spicier. I'm imagining a rage here soon. That's what I want. I want a rage quit. Alright. Okay. It's fine by me. Boom, boom, boom. If he has another Kindred, we're just gonna kill that. Yeah. This vehicle's almost leveled. So if he has another vengeance, we're fucked. I'd really rather him not have another vengeance. That'd be ideal. If he doesn't have another vengeance, it's game over, right? Thermo. Alright. Now we just win. Look at that. It's just too good. It's just too good. Anyway, I'll go over my 2 decks right now. I will go over my 2 decks right meow. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Alrighty. Okay. So. Viego deck, we'll go over the darkness deck first. Alright, I'll give you my reasons for everything. Okay, so. First we have the 2 Otterpuss. Otterpuss is only in here because a lot of people will run like 1 copy of little Spider Boy here, Aristocrat. They'll run the Aristocrat to you know, hard mulligan and try to low roll, not low roll, but like hit low cards on aggro matchups like Poppy and Bandleburn and stuff like that. I like the Otterpuss. Yeah, it doesn't, you know, provide the next turn protection the Spiderling does, but it allows you to slow those decks down. What a lot of people overlook is that when I summon the Otterpuss, I can kind of just instantly throw that prank out there, and a lot of the times I can hit the Zed or the Young Witch or something like that, or I can hit a Rally, or even a buff spell that they need to protect themselves from like a Pokey Stick or a Darkness a turn or 2 later, and pump that out of range for them to use it. And if you can just essentially make them skip a turn or so, you just kind of win over the deck. So yeah, um, yeah, that's why we like that. You can, like I said, you just need a couple slow turns from Poppy or Bandle or whatever, and you can beat them. Shouldn't have to explain that. This could be 3. I don't like the 6 and 6 personally because a lot of these decks right now are running too much stuff that just like plays around this. But again, they're just such good cards. I would rather prefer 3, um, 3 and 2, but at least we get the unit to survive against the aggro. But you can easily do 3 and 2 the other way. But yeah, a lot of times you just hit Rangers Resolve and stuff like that right now. Miscall and Stress Defense are both just good 1-ofs for different parts of the game. You don't want this early; it's really fucking bad. This is essentially the same thing. If you draw either one of these 2, you're using them on turn 3. Or not turn 3. You're banking them in at turn 3. That way, on the Viger turn, you can protect the Viger, and they're essentially fulfilling the same duty. But the thing is if you don't have to waste this on turn 3, you can use this later to stop like a Scion or a leveled Sejuani or something like that. People that are running 2 of this card, I think you're crazy. Getting Darkness down to 1, obviously getting down to 0 is cracked, but like you're realistically not going to draw all 3 of these, but hitting 2 of these potentially in one match, getting darkness down to a 1 cost is ridiculous, because then all you do is bank 3 spell mana and you have 3 darkness every turn. That's like 2 Sennas firing off plus like Viger or something. Well, I guess Senna would make. Sorry. We'll say like you had like Senna and you had one from the round before because you saved the attack one, right? So you start the thing with the darkness, you attack, create another darkness. You kill 2 things with that, then you summon like a dark bulb or something, or even a sentinel, and then you create another. You can make 3 darkness in 1 turn, use all 3 of them for 3 mana. Like that's crazy and it happens a lot. 3 Viger, you could definitely run, 1, but 3's pretty good. Hidden pathways. The only reason I like this at 2 is because again, like trying to avoid cloggy hands, and having this at the beginning of the game is just poo poo. And the deck has enough utility and enough created cards that you should have a decent hand size anyway. But you could definitely run 3. It's not the worst thing to run 3. If you want to run 3, I would probably take out a Withering Wail. Just 2 and 2 of these. Again, I don't want to see like this in every matchup, but I also don't want to see this in every matchup. So you kind of mulligan away the other one if that makes sense. Some other people do this, so this isn't just me. But you could also take out the this whale for third hidden pathway for sure. But I would keep 2 of this. I think this is stronger, especially with Senna, than the Withering Wail. Because again, the fucking Ranger's Resolve. Shit card. 3 Senna, obviously. 3 of that, obviously. Okay, so here's the problem. Here's a big thing. A lot of people are running triple mini morph. I like triple mini morph. So a lot of people would have that out in a 3rd mini morph. But the problem is, if you're not up against Plunder, that sucks. This takes care of Vandalburn. This takes care of Poppy, like, forces out stuff. Whereas this is just so bad against Poppy. And I played a lot of Poppy. Only 1 Rekindler. Again, cloggy card. You could take out this for the Rekindler. But again, I think you need this in the deck because this beats Plunder, okay? Especially if they go Feel the Rush and you do that, you can murk that deck. This is like an auto win. I don't want to see a bunch of it, but if you want to, again, another option, you can take out this other Withering Wail for this other or for a second Ruination if you're playing a lot of Plunder, because this card beats Plunder. Like, they can't really recover their boards that hard. They kind of like stay ahead. So yeah. So there's that, and then this, my prized deck. So, similar concept. Some matchups just good to have a 1-drop for the hard aggro. I'm not running the Green Glade Lookout because I'm not running Thresh. And when you're not running Thresh, you're limited to just this and this. And I don't like my odds on that. I'd rather have 9 big cards, and I don't. Okay, so we'll go over Ghost first. Notice there's no Atrocity in here. Ghost is a kill switch, okay? Yes, against certain elusive decks, you're not always going to be able to get it off, but you can't always use Atrocity against certain decks safely. Ghost allows you to get in massive damage similar to how Atrocity would, except for you don't lose your unit, and you can also use this to like block Young Witches and other big elusives. It's really good. The Aspiring Mentor, the reason I have him over the Spider again is because this helps Viego's level up because it makes something stronger. On top of that, it's really nice to put this on like Zed, because if you look at it this way, Zed can already run over anything 3 or lower, right? But a lot of things have 4 to 5 right now. So I have these 2 cards, or these 3 cards to pump Zed up. I have these 3 to knock something health off, that way Zed can kill something that's at least 4 lower. And then this also puts Zed automatically at 4. So these are like 7 ways to make Zed be able to kill something that he wouldn't be able to kill. You got to think of it like that. Plus just synergy with the rest of the deck overall. Again, I want to survive the early game. Green Glade Lookout is not always useful. This card is useful in a lot of matchups. Not that great against Plunder. You hold this card against Plunder and like make them play something first. Also, it makes this card more alive than it normally is in the deck. Syncopation, just easily dodge. You can dodge Sejuani. When she attacks on your vulnerable shit, you can dodge Monster Harpoon. You can dodge like Swain shit. The reason I have this at 3 is because, again, in this version, it's helpful for Zed. If you're running Thresh, you don't need 3 of these. But again, like I've explained before, these are another 3 damage. I think of this as another 3 unit to level up Viego faster. So, Bile Feast, again, you want to survive the early game, you can cut it to 2 for something else if you wanted. Because I play against a lot of Poppy, and half the time it doesn't kill anything because they just always have their buffs. Yeah, that's self-explanatory. Some people, when they do run the Darkwater Scourge package, they run 3. But Darkwater Scourge by itself is just like not good, right? So this card that I've always been a fan of, Ren Shadowblade, gives me a 1 mana Shadow Fiend, which I can also use this card with, and it's way fucking more consistent than just having 3 of this. All right. You do want the 3 of this though, because the whole synergy with all these cards makes this card like a 3-mana vengeance almost all the time, plus a tempo swing. The Zed, I like Zed because again, the early game aggression, and then like when you're playing against like people are playing Field of Rush right now and things like that. I've played against that quite a bit. Zed murks those decks because he just gets off so much uncontested damage so early on in the game. Deny, self-explanatory. Stop the rallies, stop all the big cards in Plunder. You can even stop like the late game burn cards in Bandle Burn and stuff like that. Run Shadow Blade. I just like this card. It has again 3 of these. Has synergy with that. It can be a tough unit for them to remove. Has decent stats, the quick attack, and it constantly just keeps pumping these out. And I have a lot of times where like even if it only lasts like that's cool. Even if it only lasts like 2 turns, like you attack, you get 1, and then maybe they kill him, you block, you get 2. That's still 8 towards Viego that you can just drop off for 2 mana. Always useful. This isn't as good as it used to be because we're not playing against a lot of Sivir, and a lot of times this just gets pinged off anymore. But it's still a useful card. You could cut it, but I still like it. It can save you sometimes from like on the Sejuani turn, if you don't have a way to stop Sejuani. You could take this out though. I don't have Palm in here right now because I don't want too many things that I'm not trying to use every turn. But you could cut this for Palm very easily, and you could probably cut one of these for another Palm if you're having problems. You can even cut a File Feast for a Palm. But I'm trying to stay low to the ground so the deck can do stuff earlier in the game. Viego, self-explanatory. Withering Mist, again, I just love this card. It gets around Ranger's Resolve, and a lot of times if you can get this off, so like if you can bank mana and get this off on like the Zed turn, where they go like Zed, Young Witch, if they don't have an out to it, you just automatically win the game, like right there. The 3 Hydrovine, and then here's the spiciest card in the deck. Spiciest card in the deck. We're going to go ahead and just make that hollow. So here's what you do. If you get 1 Kim of Orensil's route, then you get Zeta or Viego out on 5. Kim of Oren no longer has to be on the field. It just has to have existed at some point in time. If you can get that Kim of Oren out, you can get your Viego on 5. He lives. You go to turn 6. You can play this card, and you can level up Viego in a single turn. Okay? And that's cracked. Yep. So, there you go. This deck is pretty strong. So, definitely takes a lot of getting used to, though, because like there are many combos for different situations. But yeah, happy to get to Masters and be done with this fucking shitty format, but happy to do it with Shadow Isles, my favorite region. And I have hope that Shadow Isles will be good again. I actually might do a video sometime on why, like, the problem with Shadow Isles. Because me and James were talking about it in the car, and there's a very simple reason as to why it's not nearly as good anymore. Just, like, obviously it got nerfed a lot, but outside of that, I'll explain that. But yes, this was, to me, my most important Masters climb so far because I did it with a bunch of decks I just liked. And had to constantly go up against Poppy like literally all day long. I'd play like 10 Poppy decks in a row. By the way, the last 10 games on that Darkness build, I won 9 out of those 10 games. So anyway, I appreciate you watching, and see you later.